How we doing, fans? It is Thursday night at 11 o'clock, 11:05. We are shooting for Ask the Author Friday, and that is how I get away with posting by 9 a.m. or thereabouts Eastern Time. Ask the Author Friday. What is this Ask the Author Friday that you speak of? It is an opportunity for me to sit and chat. Roughly 5 questions, usually. So far, I'm submitting all of these questions, but there's a chance to change that. If you guys enjoy this content, feel free to hit subscribe. Submit some questions either below this video, or if you happen to be friends with me on my author page, that's great too, over on Facebook. You can submit your questions there. Let's get after it. What started you writing? What started me writing? Okay. It's a funny story. When did I first realize I wanted to be an author of fiction? Okay. I was about 4. At the time, it was still very common for me to be able to track down reruns of either He-Man or of G.I. Joe. If I had to put a VHS tape into the VCR in order to find these episodes, then so be it. The episodes for the day would go off the air. There were certain characters that had never made it into plastic form, so I couldn't play out scenes. So I would sit down and start writing and illustrating. My illustrations have not improved since age 4. I don't know what that looks like to you. It is supposed to be a pen and paper. Anyway, so yeah, it was 1988, and I was basically writing fan fiction long before I knew what fan fiction even was, and maybe before they had even coined the term. I still dabble in Masters of the Universe fan fiction a little bit. I go over to Vocal and I'll have a little bit of fun with that over on my Vocal page now that there is a fiction group for that. Next question. What's the most difficult part of self-publishing? The most difficult part of self-publishing. Oh boy. Marketing. Convincing friends and family, let alone perfect strangers, that I have self-published more than 3 books. I've lost track now. I might be up to 15 or 16 self-published. One of these days. You know, it's been a while since I've tried to traditionally publish. I mean, it's just been a long string of rejections anytime I've tried to traditionally publish or even to enter a writing contest. This isn't the last you've heard about rejections either. marketing. That has to be the most difficult part of self-publishing. I mean, yeah, they're up on Amazon, but a person has to know to look there, and I'm not signing the copies that you order off Amazon. And ordering a copy off Amazon doesn't get box loads of books out of my house. I mean, I have box loads of copies of my own books, looking for new homes and looking to get signed first. There was a time when I would table at festivals, but in the first couple of years I did fine when I had a couple of books, but then pretty soon the table got pretty cluttered and crowded with every single book I've written at this point. That plus we haven't had summer festivals in 2 years because reasons. But yeah, by the way, Nature's Country Cupboard here in South Haven, very gracious to me to allow me to set up a table right outside their door and try to sell my books, but it just led to people walking right by me, or people thinking I was there to ask directions, or people shooting the breeze for 5 minutes and then not purchasing a book. People walking right into the table and then treating me as though I was in the way. Yeah, I kind of was, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Online begging leads maybe about the third or fourth time I beg online, it leads to one sale of one book. I don't even, yeah. But when you are still in the phase where you keep hounding friends and family, they're going to get tired of hearing about it. They are going to get tired of hearing about the woes of the artist. That's pretty difficult. That is a pretty difficult part of being a writer still in your self-publishing phase, where you're not on the bestseller list. You're not on bookstore shelves. I mean, maybe in Barnes and Noble, but it's in a catalog somewhere buried with every other self-published author. And the only people calling you to express any interest in your books are not the people you want to be talking to. There are a lot of scams out there kind of preying on my desire to be noticed and to be preying on my desire to get my name out there as an author, and I can't afford that right now. Next question. What was the most awkward thing you've ever done for a girl? Look, I made you a drawing. What is this? What Would she have wings? Uh, I guess in my own defense, whose hands are smaller than their actual wrists, but still, I mean, I think she's wearing a mini dress and leggings. What is this? Most awkward thing I've ever done for a girl. So many things. And to this day, I mean, to this day, I learned to finally tell platonic friends how much I care about them and love them. That can be pretty awkward. My Facebook messages simply confirming to friends who have asked me to message them when I get home safely at night. They can be pretty awkward if I let myself go on and on for long enough. If I let myself ramble. Back in college when I was first learning to use Facebook and had a good amount of female friends who I cared for at the time, who I cared about their friendship very deeply, didn't exactly want to lose the friendship. I awkwardly used Messenger to the point where they ignored me, to the point where they blocked me, and I did lose a couple of really good friends over that, and and to this day I dread that I let that happen, because one of them was also my first college crush. Let alone the first woman who I ever actually told that I liked her and expected to gain anything out of it. Most awkward thing I've ever done for a girl. Let's circle back. It was 1999. I was in 8th grade. Hang on. Yeah, early 99 I would have been in 5th grade. I mean, early 99 I would have been in 8th grade, 14 years old. Excuse me. Something in the Water in Orlando was producing a lot of a particular genre of pop music that had made it all the way to Southwest Michigan. My grade school buddy and I were dealing with the conundrum where we both liked the same girl at the same time. By serenading her and her friends with... I'll come right out and say it. Backstreet or NSYNC, depending on the day. Memo to 14-year-old self. Early 1999, I would have still been 14. Memorizing Backstreet music. Where I looked nothing like the pop star type. And was trying to convince a girl to not only like me, but that I was interested in women to begin with. I did not say I was very wise about the fairer sex back in junior high, and I stand behind that. What women in your life are you thankful for? Let's see, I'm thankful for you. Yesterday I was thankful for you, and I should have phrased that a lot differently. In honor of International Women's Day last Tuesday. In honor of International Women's Day Tuesday, I think what I meant to say was, what about the women in your life has inspired you? My late grandmother took care of my sister and I during weekdays, during the school year while both of my parents worked. Somewhere in between commandeering her TV set or setting up G.I. Joe war games in the middle of her living room, her grandmother's love was an inspiration. Her grandmotherly love to Kate and I was an inspiration. She had a lot of patience for us. Infinitely so. My mother did not have the best upbringing, and I'm sure she does the best she can. My sister to this day amazes me with her accomplishments. The women in my life still willing to call me friend. I know what type of individual I can be, especially toward women. I can't thank you enough. One of you in particular was my inspiration to finally break through the barriers and start informing friends how much I really do care for them every chance I get. Maybe being me, I make it awkward. But for my friends, I let them know how loved they are and how appreciated they are. I gotta get back to doing that for family. What are you listening to right now? What am I? Oh boy. I wish that the answer were my Def Bon Journey playlist that I specifically made in Windows Media Player. Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, Journey. Steve Perry's solo work. I really wish that were the answer right now. I would even like to tell you with a straight face that the last thing I listened to was my actual jogging playlist when I set out for my morning jog this morning, and therefore could tell you that I had jogged to the sounds of Dawkins' Dream Warrior, Genesis's Land of Confusion, Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer. Even Garth Brooks is Standing Outside the Fire. Instead, I was listening to my pop playlist last night on Windows Media Player. So the last several things that I heard before turning in for the night were love like a road that never ends, how it leads me back again to a heartache I can understand. It gets worse. It gets worse. Well, here we are again. I guess it must be fate. Started on our own, but deep inside, you know, we'd me back to set things straight. Even that wasn't the last that I heard out of Peter Cetera or Chicago. When I set out for my morning run this morning, plugged in my earbuds, and out popped, just say you love me for the rest of your life. I got a lot of love and I don't want to let go. To wit, I realized I was in the middle of the last chorus of the song and reset it. Only for Chicago's Just Say You'll Love Me to turn into You should have seen by the look in my eyes, baby, there was something missing. I can't even remember what else popped out between here and downtown South Haven and back home. Let's see. Eventually, Plain White T's Hey There Delilah came up and I actually listened to it. George Strait's Carrying Your Love With Me I skipped. Ty Herndon's A Man Holding On to a Woman Letting Go I skipped. I was almost home and I was jamming out to Still the One by Orleans, and that was okay. I mean, it's still my heartache playlist, but yeah, I mean, it's got a good beat to it for a jog at least. Hang on, it's been since like 7:30 this morning. I don't even remember what I was in the middle of before I turned this thing off. We could all be in for a treat, says the guy in the Def Leppard t-shirt. Nothing should. Shots of the fish told me I didn't know what I was missing. See, this Let Down by This Providence isn't that bad, considering what I started out with. That's what I'm listening to right now. At the age of I'm still listening to heartache type music. when I'm out on my run and I'm wondering why I'm not getting a whole bunch of zone minutes out of it. I just flashed you a bare wrist because my Fitbit is in the other room on the charger. It's getting late. Alright. I'll post this in the morning. This has been Ask the Author Friday. If you guys have any questions for me, please post a few questions down below. I'll see you again next week for another Ask the Author Friday. If you enjoy this content, hit subscribe. It's not going to be every week that I post these to YouTube that I post these to Facebook after posting them to YouTube. There's going to come a time when YouTube is the home for Ask the Author Friday on a regular basis. Once in a blue moon, I might still post it back to Facebook. But if you want to follow content such as Ask the Author Friday regularly, feel free to subscribe. Thanks. Peace. Appreciate you all.